hamsters, and welcome back to the little house with a beautiful side. That is my YouTube channel. So today we'll be talking about Jeffree Star. Unfortunately, I do not really have much, but first off, I want to say that we'll be discussing a timeline that I'll show you right now. So screenshot it if you need, or whatever. Okay. The timeline was made by Sebastian Williams. It's incredible, and it really points out all the hypocrisies that Jeffree has clearly shown in his behavior. And let's just get into this and discuss it as people, which clearly people like Jeffree aren't capable of doing. And after this, I will be talking about his Snapchat a bit and my disgust when it comes to that entire situation. Okay. First off, this is 2019 and 2020, so kind of that's what we're dealing with, the most recent years. Okay, February 2019. Jeffree said he had James banned from his house since February. In February. Shane and Jeffree were talking about James Charles on FaceTime in a hotel in Houston, exposed by Carmen Lester. Okay, that's March 10th, 2019. This is where we get into one of the most hypocritical bits. So, April 21st, Jeffree tweeted he missed James so much. Oh yes, we believe you're genuine. And then April 29th, privately told drama channel Ashley Kyle James looked like a demon and was evil and would get exposed. April 21st, you're missing him, and April 29th, he's suddenly a demon? Wouldn't it take more time to him to turn into a demon then? Just curious. May 11th. Congratulated Tati, obviously because Tati was in the crew that hated James at the time. Even I myself, I wasn't involved by any means. I didn't have this channel I have. At the time, but I still thought like James is in hot water for some reason. I didn't want to look into it, but listen to this. Congratulated Tati 3 times on getting 6, 7, and 8 million subscribers. Yep, because Tati was within that crew. Anyway, with what I said earlier, the point was, even though I wasn't involved, the entire thing got to my head still. So like, I don't know how manipulative they are then. May 12th, Jeffree tweeted that James was a danger to society and that Tati was 100% right. I mean, I don't get what kind of person you have to be to go ahead and tweet that serious that someone is a danger to society publicly, because, I mean, they're rivals anyway, but just think Jeffree will never have a chance of viewing James as anything else other than his opponent. And James is in an incredible place right now. Super happy for him. I think he's incredibly talented. So, yeah. May 18th. Uploaded his Snapchat story threatening to expose James Charles. So at least here's consistency. At least we have some level of consistency here. So like May 11th, 12th, and 18th are kind of consistent. And then May 19th, guess what happened? He flipped as loud as he could and apologized to James Charles and his brother and agreed to move on from the situation. He clearly didn't move on by the looks of how everything is now. Anyway, September 12th, unfollows Tati and got angry when someone pointed it out. I mean, why would you do a public thing if you're certain that you'll get angry when someone tells you, oh, you did this public thing? Like, it's just a big brain you have to have. Anyway, September 15th, mentions James Charles in his Dollar General video, hinting at the copied palette of Wet and Wild. So again, here we have James Charles in a somewhat positive light, I'm suspecting. Anyway, September 25th, drops teaser for Shane x Jeffree series and showing the James and Tati drama. Okay, here's what I have an issue with here. That drama is still so foggy in a sense of who gave consent to be shown in there and who didn't. And we all clearly know that James, whatever may be true, and whether that audio recording that's held, against him is actual evidence or not, because I'm just gonna play you a clip by Jacqueline.
I have mixed feelings on Tati's video, but I still do feel like it's worth mentioning because she provides very important information that I do believe to be true about Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star using blackmail against other YouTubers. This is not the first time that I've heard this.
Because I have dirt on everyone, and they know to keep their mouths shut.
From my understanding of things, what they do is they allegedly will get people to drink a lot, or they will get them high or something, and once they are intoxicated enough, Jeffree or Shane will get them to say something that they probably would never have said otherwise, something wildly inappropriate. They film it, and then they hold this piece of information over that other YouTuber's head for God knows how long, so that whenever they actually are committing crimes, those people won't speak out against them because they're so afraid of this blackmail being released.
Why, in my opinion, I could not believe it unless I see more. So yeah, anyway, we clearly know what happened and how horrific the entire situation was. So yeah, that's hella shady. Okay, drop Caesar for Shane x Jeffree series, and following, yeah, okay, what I said when it comes to drama. That entire situation, really shady. I completely understand everyone who has an issue with. I have an issue with it to an extent, because you cannot just put people in, especially if they have a huge platform, because, that they have people they influence. So now we get into 2020. Now we get into more recent stuff. So March 22nd compliments James, saying he killed it per usual, in response to James's collab with Charli D'Amelio. And here's the bit that strikes me. James's collab with Charli D'Amelio. It just shows how young James is. He's 21, guys. He collabs with Charli D'Amelio. He's one of us Gen Zers. It's ridiculous. And April 28th, goes on Keemstar's podcast saying James is still a danger. Jeffree claims he has proof and that it was all Tati's fault. What was Tati's fault? Yeah, sure, Tati has responsibility for pushing the upload button, but I don't think much of what went behind the scenes is persuasion. Much of what went behind the scenes is manipulation, as I already said, persuading and things alike, and just, it's mushy. It's so mushy and it's so disgusting in its own right. Now, as I've said, this is the timeline of Jeffree's hypocrisies, and the points that I've said as points, not my opinion, you could completely take as they are, but my opinions obviously with a grain of salt, because we all as people are biased. So let's talk about Jeffree Star's Snapchat handle. I'm not sure for how long Jeffree Star's Snapchat handle was Jeffrey Dahmer, but regardless of how long it was, it should not have been Jeffrey Dahmer at any point in time anyway. Regardless of who you are, you wouldn't want to support a serial killer. You wouldn't want to put out a serial killer's name out there. Anyway, let me read you who he is to make this entire situation even more horrific. Jeffrey Dahmer was an American serial killer who took the lives of 17 males between 1978 and 1991 over the course of more than 13 years. So this man is horrific already. Now, I just want to preface before this, Jeffree is an openly gay man. Dahmer caught out men, mostly African American, at gay bars, malls, and bus stops. Yeah, this is just incredible to me. Because I have already known that Jeffree has no empathy towards other people whatsoever, as I've already said. I don't think he's capable of viewing James as anything else other than his opponent, rival, which obviously here James is showing that he's closer to a teenager than an adult in a manner, and he's more mature than those, like, what, 30, nearly 40-year-old man. Sorry, I just got lost. Anyway, James is indeed seeming more mature than 30-year-old man. That's a fact. But the fact that Jeffrey's doing this, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Also, don't you actually know that so many young gay men are watching you? And obviously, a portion of them might not be safe to be themselves, might not be safe to come out. And it's just like horrendous thing, is a thought to think that imagine having this one string that is you, Jeffrey. And, this person is so expressive, is so incredible, is so amazing, I love them. Boom. They promote a serial killer. They promote a freaking serial killer. Like, this is. I don't know how anyone could stand behind this entire situation. I don't know which kind of example you think to give Jeffrey. And the irony of this is just. Like, what? I don't know. Let's just make this really, really simple. Let's say there was this serial killer who killed only, I don't know, women with brownish hair. Let's put it like that. And I change my name to their name. I'm a girl with brown hair. That's like such an irony. Or like, I don't know, they killed all people on YouTube who ever spoken against, I don't know, Peter Popov or Kenneth Copeland, right? So I'd be tortured. And I just want to say, and I changed my name to theirs, okay. And I just want to say, really interesting thing that Ready to Glare usually pulls out in her videos whenever she speaks about serial killers and people alike. She usually says those people who do things like this, they think they'd be saved. Like, they think they would be able to be an exception, which they totally wouldn't be able to be, because that's a criminal, that's a killer, that's someone with aggressive, violent nature, probably with views that are so dark that you don't even want to go in that direction even slightly. Like, Jeffrey, again, I don't know what else to say except, Jeffrey, you're an openly gay man. You're giving a horrendous example. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this transition from he's a hypocrite to this is absolutely horrendous action of his. And yes, I do know that Jeffrey and Shane have a lot of overlap in terms of 12-year-old stuff, but I don't want to repeat myself. And if you really want that, you could go find it other places that would do it way better than myself. With Shane, I was just like really horrendously disgusted by the cousin part and generally young girl in danger part. And I don't know, I just don't want to talk about that again. It's disturbing, it twists my stomach, and I don't want my stomach twisted today. Not in the mood. But if it helps, I did curl my hair for Jeffrey. So. But I didn't even have to do that, if I'm honest. Anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you could enjoy a video like this. See you next time.